Yo, what is up, my chicken fajitas? Today will be a different type of video. I was in a situation a few years ago, and some of the instances feel like they just happened yesterday, even though it's been years. I'm old. As a short summary, I went to a school with an abusive administrator. She was verbally and emotionally cruel towards me, and these accounts have haunted me for years. But I think I'm finally ready to share some of my story. I will be making jokes throughout explaining because humor is a really helpful coping mechanism for me. This will be a saga, so this is just going to be one part out of most likely many if you want to hear more stories. Sit back, get mad, and enjoy. I attended a school specifically made for kids with dyslexia, dysgraphia, other forms of learning disabilities. There was this kid who thought he was a dog. There were 3 sections of the school: lower, and high school. As you can imagine, all teachers and administrators had to have certain degrees to be able to work with these kids, because we were stupid. This specific woman, we need to give her a name. I don't think I can use the name we called her in school without getting canceled, so, we'll call her Miss Hannigan. So, Miss Hannigan was hired to be the head of high school at my school. In the nicest way possible, she was a very last-minute decision when the original head left unexpectedly. Now, at first, Miss Hannigan was very nice to everyone. But, because there's always a but, it was quickly apparent that she relied very strongly on emotions for every single situation. This even went along with grades, because if you complimented her enough and boosted her god complex, you'd get great grades. If you showed any type of disdain or hatred towards her, because we're high schoolers and we don't like authority telling us what to do, she would fail you. Now listen, I know I seem incredibly amazing and cool on the internet, but when I first entered school, I was bullied. And this bullying only got worse when I entered high school. To be fair, I was the weird trans dude and the only known diagnosed autistic kid. So I'm not saying I condone it, but I do understand it. The bullying got so bad in gym class, though, that I genuinely had to switch to a different class. Unfortunately, though, this school was so tiny, I'm talking like less than 100 kids throughout lower to high school. There wasn't a different class I could switch to. Until Miss Hannigan steps in like the absolute hero she is. She told me that she can make a class specifically for me. And she did! She basically made an English class that was mixed with art. I'd read a book, do a few assignments, then a few art projects. Easy, right? Right. The first book she assigned me was Stargirl. Now, I've already read the book, and this was a very elementary level book for me at the time. It took me less than 2 days to finish it. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely believe she thought because I was attending this school, it would take me months to finish the book. When she found out that I had finished it so fast, I think it may have caught her off guard. She ended up posting 2 semesters worth of work, all at once for me to finish. She wanted all of the work done within 2 weeks, because obviously if I finished the book, I would finish 2 semesters worth of work in 2 weeks, Honestly, it was near impossible for me to finish it in that timeline. She gave me over 27 essays to do, along with questionnaire assignments with 15 questions per paper. I also had to answer each question with a paragraph each. I'm sorry. What? Do you know how impossible it would be to do that within 2 weeks? Especially since I had 7 other classes at the time? Like what? Make this even better, she was never in the classroom, so if I ever had a question, I would have to send her an email. But she never answered her emails. I was always in an empty classroom for around 2 hours a day. Here are 2 videos from my very old TikTok page proving this.
My bad habits lead to
the fitness gram pacer test is a multi
Oh yeah. Again, I don't condone it, but I understand. I ended up dropping this class after my work started mysteriously disappearing, but it was found out later that she would delete students' work and then contact their parents to get a reaction. She also called me ugly, so I was in art class and I was doing a self-portrait. My art teacher gave me permission to make my self-portrait look like magical and stuff because my art teacher is the best. Miss Hannigan walks in. She takes a look at what I'm doing, looks at me, looks at the artwork, and then says, "That's you? That's too pretty to be you." Well, if I didn't have self-confidence issues before, I definitely have them now! I know this doesn't seem like very much now, but I promise you it gets worse. Let me know if you'd like a part 2, and yeah. Goodbye.